Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of this Allen Bradley PLC series. In this session, we are going to discuss about the ladder logic rule, or simply we can say ladder diagram or ladder language rule also. So why these rules are important to know? Because if you are observing all the PLCs which are available in industrial automation, like Allen Bradley PLC, Siemens, 300, 400, GFONO, Omron, Delta, means all these are the PLC in which if you are checking the common language, that is nothing but the ladder diagram. Right? So along with the ladder diagram, we are using some other languages also in some PLCs, like functional block diagram. You can see it VD also, then a sequential function chart and the structure stage language also. Right? But in most of the cases, the most favorite language which we are using in all the PLCs, that is nothing but ladder language, or we can say ladder diagram. So in this session, we are going to learn the rules which are essential to design to learn this language. Right? So here you can observe the 7 different rules are here. I'm just going to tell you the meaning of each and every rule in terms of ladder diagram, so that you can able to understand the meaning of each rule properly. Now let us start with the first rule. The first rule is that the input address and input symbol can be used in series and parallel. Like this, simply you can copy it and paste yellows. Simply click on the edit title and paste your title here. Click on OK. Now this is the rule number 1. Now here you can see, as a programmer, you should know the some basic part also. Here you can observe some symbols are given. Means the first symbol, the run branch, normally open contact, normally close contact, output coil, latch, unlatch, and some other instructions are also here. In upcoming session, I will cover the meaning of all these symbols properly. See here, I have provided the title. So now, if you want to select the symbol on this horizontal line, you can see it run. Simply select it. Once you select it, then its color will change. Now color is red now. Let's select the normally open contact. Now here you can check. I have selected the normally open contact, but the problem you can see here. Okay. So in order to avoid this problem, okay, if you don't want the name below the run, so simply just do one thing. Delete it. So initially you have to select the symbol on your run, then you can provide the title like this. Easy, right? Now let us understand the meaning of this first rule. Means input symbol and the input address which we can connect in series as well as in parallel also. So on your left side you can observe only the input symbol and input instructions, and on your right side of the window you can observe the output instructions, output coil, and output addresses only. Some other the parts are also given here which we are going to learn step by step. Initially I have selected the normally open contact, then I'm selecting the one more because we can connect the input symbols and input address in series. It means as per our requirement. So initially I have selected the 2 inputs in series, and if I want to connect one more input in parallel, so how I can connect it. Okay. So how to connect it? So simply here you can observe the run branch. Select the run branch. Okay. But before that, make sure the symbol to which you are going to connect the input in parallel. So here I have selected the symbol, select the run branch, select this red part and drag it on the left side and drop it. Select the left corner and select the one more normally open contact. Here I am selecting the normally open contact. So as per the requirement, you can go with the normally closed contact also, right? So simply what we can see, the normally open contact means you can see the start button, start switch, and the normally closed contact means what? We can see the stop button and the stop switch as well. Now I want to connect the output coil here. So simply I have click on this symbol, then select the output coil. Here I have selected. Now here you can see, according to the first rule, we have connected input in series, means these two inputs are in series and one input is in parallel. This, likewise, if you require the few more inputs, you can connect like this, okay, in series as well as in parallel also. So in order to connect the more inputs in parallel, so don't select the run branch again, means it will create, means it will show the, means you cannot able to connect the number of input properly in the parallel, means alignment should not be there properly. So simply do one thing, just click on the left side, just press Ctrl C and Ctrl V like this. Means in this way you can able to connect the number of input in series and in parallel. Okay. Now coming toward here, I am deleting the some inputs like this. Here, if you want to provide the address, so how to provide it? In the previous session, we have already discussed about the addressing. So simply, I'm just going to show you again. Just going to show you again the some part. Here you can see. Here we have inserted the digital input card in slot number 1. So as per the slot number 1, we can provide the input address. Simply double click on the question mark, type the address I:1.0/0 and press enter. Now you will get the one pop-up, one window in which you can able to provide the name of that. So here I'm providing the name like toggle switch number 1, and if you want to provide a description for the same symbol, you can provide it. Okay, for example, I'm using this toggle switch for turning on the motor, for turning on motor like this. Okay, I click on it. Now like this, here you can observe. And the problem is that here I have added the name toggle switch -1. Here the dash is not allowed actually. Simply you can type it like this, toggle switch 1, then press enter. Now you can change the description, the name of that particular symbol as well. Okay. Now similarly, you can type the address for the next normal open contact I:1.0/1, press enter, toggle switch 2 here for the symbol, and we are using it for the same. Now, and see, if you don't know how to provide the addressing, simply you can refer the data file here. Some data files are here. Click on the input data file and simply drag and drop the address like this. So here we have already used these two addresses, right? And if you want to provide this address, means like this, simply hold, drag, then you can see even we don't need to type the address, simply drag and drop. Okay. And if you want to provide the name, the description to this symbol, so you can provide the name directly from here also. Means toggle switch number 3. Press enter button like this. It's very simple. Similarly, you can provide the output address also. Either you can type the address like O:2.0/0. If not, then you can drag the output address also. So double click and drag the address like this. So that like this, drag and drop and provide the name of the symbol. So basically this is the motor which we have connected, and the description here I am providing on off operation, on off operation of the motor, on off operation, and like this. Now this is our first rule. If you want to check this rule properly, then simply I will show you in the upcoming session. So initially just understand the meaning of the rule of the ladder language. See here, in this case, either in order to turn on the motor, either you can turn on the motor just by pressing these two switches, either switch 1 or switch 2. Okay, means initially we have to press these two switches, switch 1 and switch 2, then and then you can observe the on-off operation of the motor. And you have a second choice, switch 3 and the switch 2. Okay, means at a time we need to press two switches to turn on the motor. Okay. Now coming toward the rule number 2. In the rule number 2, you can see the output address and the output symbol can be used in parallel. So here you can see, for example, if you want to turn on the one more output by using the two inputs, is either a switch 1, switch 2 or switch 3 and switch 2. So what we need to do? Basically in this Allen Bradley PLC, we cannot connect the number of output in series like this. This is wrong. We cannot connect the output in series. So we have options. That is nothing but simply select the run branch like this and connect the output in parallel. Means we cannot connect the output in series, but we can connect the number of outputs in parallel like this. Simply you can connect the number of outputs which you require for designing the program. Okay. Initially I'm just going to select only one. Now rest of the output coils you can delete just by pressing the delete button. Now here, if you want to type the address, you can type it like this: o:2.0/1, press enter. And here R wants to turn on the footer, right, for alarm announcing. Here I am providing the name for alarm Okay, you can provide the description as per your requirement. Here I'm giving for alarm announce. Announce. Just a minute. Yes. Okay. Now, in this way, you can. Okay, I'm just going to paste the second rule here. Like this. In the run command. In this way. Okay. Means in this way you can connect the number of outputs in parallel, not in series, because that is not allowed in case of the Allen Bradley PLC. Right. Now coming toward the next rule. In this rule, what you are observing, the output address cannot be repeated on output side. Okay. For example, here you can see, here we have provided the two different addresses. Right. Okay, I'm just going to copy all the content so that it will be easy for us. The third, output address cannot be repeated on output side. Here you can check, we have provided two different addresses. Okay. For example, if you are trying to repeat the same address, for example, here just like you can hold and drag like this. For example, here you have provided the same output address. That is not allowed. We cannot provide. Press Ctrl Z. Okay. And the most important thing, for example, here if you are providing the motor address here again, so that is also wrong. Means if you have used the motor address on your output side once, you cannot able to repeat it again and again on output side. Right? So that is the most important part which you need to remember. Right? So this is about rule number 3. Now, the fourth number rule, output address can be repeated on input side only. Yes, we can repeat the output address, but in what case? In the fourth rule only. Means, for example, your task is to turn on the indicator once the motor gets started. So in that case, how to design the program? So see, as a programmer, we should know these rules in details. Means, initially we have just learned you cannot repeat the output address on the output side, but we can repeat the output address on input side. Okay, see here. I can provide this output address on input side to the input symbol. Okay, so this normally open contact is the input symbol, right? This is the input symbol. Now our task is to turn on the indicator when the motor gets started. Now use the output coil, use the output coil and provide the one more output address here, just like I'm providing. This is the indicator. Okay. So we are using this indicator just for knowing the status of motor, means whether the motor is in running condition or not. Indicator, right? And here I'm providing this description for checking the current status of motor. Right? In this way. Okay, means we can repeat the output address on input side number of times. For example, if you want to repeat this output address again somewhere for executing some other logic, you can repeat it. Okay. Now coming to the fifth number rule, input address cannot be used on output side. So here we have just learned we can provide the output address on input side, but we cannot provide the input address on output side. For example, if someone trying to provide the input address to the output coil, this is wrong. We cannot use the input address to the output coil. This is completely wrong. Okay, so always remember. Means simply you can use the input address on the left side of your window and on the input side only, and to the input symbols. Always remember. Now coming to the sixth number rule. In the sixth number rule, input address can be repeated on input sides. Right? Means we can repeat the input address so many times as per our requirement in case of the input address only and in case of the input symbol. See, just like for example, if I want to use this toggle switch 1 to turn on some other input, some other output. So how to provide or use this input address? Here, for example, here I'm selecting one more normal UPON contact and using this address like this. Okay, this like this. Likewise, you can able to repeat the input address number of times. Okay, see, here I'm providing one more output address because next one is 3, because we cannot repeat that. That is the reason. Right. So here the name of the symbol. For example, here I'm providing the pump which we need to turn on from description, which you can provide as per requirement. Likewise, similarly, you can use the toggle switch 2 also, toggle switch 3 also as per your requirement in the program. Means simply I just want to say you can repeat the input address on input side. Okay. Now coming toward the last number address. The output address can be repeated on output side in latch and unlatch case. So initially we have just learned we cannot repeat the output address on output side, but we can repeat the output address in the 7th number rule only. And this is the exceptional rule. Okay, this is the exceptional rule. Otherwise, we cannot repeat the output address. Always remember. I'm just showing you this rule. Okay, let me delete this part that show you properly. See here. Now instead of using the normal output coil, what we need to use the latch output coil. Simply what we need to do, just delete this and use this latch output coil and provide the same address. Here I have provided the address, the latch coil, and one more input and unlatch coil, the address that will be same for the unlatch. So what is the latch? Latch means what? When you are providing the input to the latch coil, it will get energized even you have released the inputs. Okay, means, and similarly the unlatch coil is here. Unlatch means what? If you need to stop, if you need to turn off the motor, we require the unlatch output coil, because without using the unlatch output coil, you cannot able to turn off the motor. That is the reason. Means as and when if you are thinking about the latch and unlatch coil, so compulsory we need to use both the output coil in the same program. If you are not using the unlatch output coil, you cannot able to turn off the program. Remember. So simply here I am providing one more input. But the condition is that in this condition, the input that should be different. Input that should be different. Here I am providing the description for turning off the motor, or turning off the motor. Okay, like this. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to run this program. Right. So here, if you are not sure about this program, whether this program is right or wrong, here you can observe the two options: verify the file and verify the projects. Okay. So initially, just click on the verify the files, and on your left corner you will get a notification. The verify has completed and no error found. Okay. Then on your left upward corner you will get the offline options and the download arrow. Just click on the download arrow. You will get three different options: go online, download, and upload. Click on the download only. In the next session I will explain the meaning of go online, upload. Click on download. Now here you can change the name of your file. So I'm not going to change. If you want, you can change the name of your file. Just click on save now. And if you want to change the location, you can change the location also from here. Okay. So instead of my document, you can select your file somewhere as per your requirement. Okay, and some other things are also given here. You can read it and click on the save. Immediately you will get one more pop-up. Do you want to go online? Click on yes. But right now we are in program mode, this remote programming mode, and here you can observe the ladder which is rotating vertically. Okay, then again click on the download arrow and click on the run only. So here you will get so many options. Okay, so right now just click on the run. Again you will get one more pop-up. Are you sure you want to change processor mode to run? Click on yes. So now here you can check the power rail. The power rail color is green now, which means that we are in online mode. Okay. The green means what? The power and the current start flowing through your power rail, but in the run there is no current because normally open contacts are here. So how to examine this normally open contact? Okay. Just examine it close means if you are pressing the normally open contact, the current will start flowing to the run, and accordingly you can observe the turning on operation of your motor. Okay, means when the coil gets green, what we can see? We can see the motor is turned on the field also. Simply right click, press the toggle button. Here you can see the green color. This green color means that your motor is turned on right now. And if you are releasing the start switch, then also you can observe the on operation from your motor. So this is possible only by using the latch output file, right? And for example, if your operation is completed and if you want to turn off the motor, so simply you just need to press this toggle switch. Just press it, you can observe the motor gets. This is how we can use the latch and unlatch for the specific operation. In the upcoming session, we are going to design so many projects based on this latch and unlatch operations. Just remember, only in the latch and unlatch case, we have to repeat the output address, otherwise we are not repeating the output address. So this is all about the ladder logic rules. Next session, we are going to discuss about the programs and some other instructions.